Pause for a moment. My child, because a quiet yet powerful movement has just begun around you. And what you are hearing has not appeared by chance amid the hurried current of life. I have led you to this moment so that you may recognize that some changes begin where human eyes cannot yet see. But in time they will reveal themselves through unmistakable signs in your life. What is sacred does not always arrive with a thunderous sound or through events that capture the attention of the whole world. Sometimes it begins like a gentle breeze passing through your heart, like an urging you cannot quite name, or like the feeling that you are standing near something new, even though you cannot yet explain what it is. I want you to remain calm, for this message is not meant to confuse or alarm you. It is a tender reminder that the journey you have faithfully endured is approaching an important turning point. For a long season, you have walked through days when it seemed that nothing was changing. You continued to make an effort when few people noticed, and you quietly prepared yourself even though there was no visible assurance that your labor would ever be rewarded. At times, you wondered whether your faithfulness had been forgotten, whether those doors were truly meant for you or were merely distant images you would never be able to reach. I saw you continue even when your heart was weary. I saw you lift yourself again after disappointment. And I watched you learn to carry out your responsibilities well, even when no praise or recognition was given. It was through those very days that you were trained no longer to depend upon the applause of others. I did not allow your progress to be delayed without purpose. I used the silence to deepen your foundation so that, when something greater is placed in your hands, you will not lose your direction merely because the eyes of the world suddenly turn toward you. You must understand that silence does not mean I am absent. There are seasons when I conceal the process in order to protect what is taking shape. Just as a seed must remain beneath the dark soil before it can rise toward the light. Had everyone seen your preparation too soon, voices lacking understanding might have caused you to doubt the very thing I was building within you. Had the door opened before you were mature enough, an opportunity that appeared to be a blessing might have become a burden that exhausted you. Therefore, I taught you patience through days without clear answers. I taught you to continue tending to the small things and to preserve your peace while the results were still unseen. You thought you were standing still, but in truth, every day you were being moved away from the person you once were and becoming someone capable of carrying new responsibility with wisdom and humility. Every journey has its appointed season, and what has been ordained for the proper time will not require you to force it open through fear. What is approaching may come through a conversation that appears ordinary, through someone unexpectedly remembering your name, through a recommendation you never arranged, or through an offer from a place you never considered. Do not overlook the small moments, because great turning points often enter a person's life dressed in the simplest clothing. Someone may ask you only a few questions, yet through them they may recognize the depth that others once failed to see. A brief encounter may open the way to a long journey. What you prayed for may not arrive in the form you imagined, yet it may lead you somewhere far better than anything you had planned. I want you to remain watchful without becoming tense, expectant without becoming impatient, and prepared without attempting to control every detail. Soon, you may be seen in a different light. Qualities that were once regarded as ordinary will become the very things that draw the attention of people with influence. Your perseverance, your faithfulness to your word, your ability to remain steady in adversity, and your refusal to compete for recognition will speak for you more powerfully than any act of self-promotion. Others may see only the final result, but I know the cost of every lesson that has shaped who you are today. Therefore, when recognition comes, do not allow pride to carry your heart away, but do not shrink back because you believe you are unworthy. Receive it with gratitude, for you are not entering a new place to prove that you are greater than anyone else. You are entering it to fulfill the work that has been prepared, especially for you. The door is not opening so that you may display yourself, but so that the light, kindness, and wisdom within you may serve a greater number of people. Yet what matters is not only whether a door opens, but whether you are ready when it does. Some people have prayed for an opportunity for years, but when it arrives, they allow fear to keep them from stepping forward. Some have grown so accustomed to rejection that they no longer know how to receive a sincere invitation. Others have lived in scarcity for so long that, when abundance appears, they immediately become suspicious and sabotage what is good. I do not want you to repeat this pattern. Begin to step out of the mindset that is always waiting for something terrible to happen. Not every door is a trap. Not every person who draws near intends to wound you. And not every change leads to loss. You must discern carefully. But do not allow old wounds to become the gatekeepers of your future. Let peace guide you. Let wisdom examine every step. And let courage help you say yes when you recognize that the path before you is right. When everything begins to move, do not become alarmed if the pace is faster than what you have known before. Something that has been prepared in silence for a long time may reveal itself within only a few days or weeks. One meeting may lead to another. A single introduction may open many connections. One wise decision may shorten a journey you once believed would require many years. Do not allow the new speed to make you forget the principles that kept you standing during the season of waiting. Continue to listen. Continue to keep your word. And continue to treat kindly those who can offer you no personal advantage. Do not allow a new position to make you forget the days when you yourself needed a hand to lift you. True elevation does not make you distant. It teaches you when to bow down and raise another person with the compassion you learned through your own suffering. I also want you to know that not everyone will understand the change that is coming. Some will be surprised to see you enter a place they once believed you could never reach. Some will rejoice, while others will remain silent because your progress forces them to confront the limitations they have placed upon themselves. You do not need to argue or explain excessively. Allow the results to mature quietly. Do not announce everything when it is still only a tender shoot. And do not expose every opportunity to so many opinions that your heart becomes confused. Some things must be guarded in privacy until they are strong enough to speak through their own fruit. Discretion is not fear. It is the way a wise person protects something precious from hands that do not yet understand its value. My beloved child, this turning point will not only change your outward circumstances, it is also inviting you into a new way of living. I am teaching you to leave behind the mentality of someone who is merely trying to survive and to become a person who knows how to build, lead, and give. You must begin to see yourself through new eyes, no longer defined by past failures or by words that once wounded you. Your past has trained you, but it has no authority to imprison you. The days when you were overlooked made you deeper, but they are not where you are meant to remain forever. I am leading you into a broader place where your abilities will be used well, where your voice will carry weight, and where your presence will bring peace instead of constantly striving to earn acceptance. Therefore, prepare your heart beginning today. Complete what remains unfinished. Clear away what is distracting you. Adjust your habits. And keep your mind bright and clear. Do not wait until the invitation appears before beginning to become the person capable of answering it. Live now with the character of the person you are being led to become. When the appointed moment arrives, you will not need to chase after it in panic, because you will already have been prepared to recognize it and walk through it. I was with you during the silent season, and I will remain with you when everything begins to open. You do not need to fear becoming lost amid the changes, for my hand will continue to guide you one step at a time. Keep your heart humble, your eyes watchful, and your inner being filled with deep peace. What is coming is not meant to overwhelm you, but to reveal that the days when you thought you had been forgotten were quietly leading you toward the right place, the right people, and the right time. Prepare your heart, for what is approaching will be greater than every limitation you once used to measure your future. I want you to receive these words within the deepest place inside you, the place that still knows how to recognize a gentle calling amid the noise of life. The movements unfolding around you are not a series of disconnected coincidences, nor are they meaningless events that simply appear and disappear. A sacred arrangement is quietly changing the old order, cleansing the atmosphere around you, and leading you out of cycles that have held you in weariness for far too long. I am intervening in your story in ways that reason cannot yet explain. Time cannot measure, and human strength cannot produce on its own. I am leading you away from a life spent merely trying to endure one day after another and into a journey sustained by provision, wisdom, and peace from above. This does not mean that you will no longer have responsibilities, but you will no longer have to carry everything as though you alone were holding your entire life together. Even as these words reach you, something deep within has already recognized that a new season is drawing near. Something is awakening after being covered for so long by anxiety, disappointment, and the countless days when you simply tried to endure a little longer so that you would not collapse. A hope that seemed to have fallen asleep is beginning to stir, reminding you that you were not born merely to struggle from one payment to the next while continuing to tremble before tomorrow. During the years behind you, you have passed through one pressure after another. No sooner had you emerged from one difficulty than another was already waiting. Many times, you smiled before others while carrying unanswered questions within. You quietly calculated every expense, weighed every decision, postponed things you needed, and tried to keep everything from falling apart. Not everyone knows how much weight you have carried, because you became accustomed to hiding your weariness so that those you love would not worry. But I saw it all, including the nights when you lay still while your heart could not rest, and the moments when you wondered how much longer you had the strength to continue. I know that many times you used willpower to compensate for what you lacked, resilience to conceal your sense of helplessness, and responsibility to force yourself onward even when you had nothing left within. You tried to solve every problem through your own strength because you feared that, if you loosened your grip, everything would collapse at once. Yet, my beloved, true strength is not found in carrying everything alone. Some burdens were never given to you to bear throughout your whole life. They passed through your hands for a season to teach you the difference between responsibility and tormenting yourself. I do not condemn you for trying too hard, because I know you did so out of love, out of fear of losing what was precious, and out of a desire to protect those who matter to you. But now I am teaching you another way to live, to work diligently without panic, to remain responsible without allowing fear to govern you, and to walk with seriousness while learning to rely upon guidance that is higher than your own calculations. The season in which you constantly had to chase the next solution is gradually being removed. The knots that once kept you awake will no longer possess the same power, because I am opening ways you never considered, bringing you clearer ideas, and connecting you with more suitable opportunities. Sometimes provision will come through an open door. At other times, it will arrive as timely advice, a change in the way you manage what you have, a trustworthy partner, or a path simpler than the one you previously pursued. Do not confine the help of heaven to only one form, because I can use many roads to lead you into a spacious place. Your part is to remain watchful and not to become so accustomed to scarcity that you distrust every good thing that appears. When a wholesome opportunity comes, you do not need to withdraw merely because the past taught you to be guarded. Examine it with wisdom, but do not allow fear to disguise itself as caution and cause you to miss what I am placing before you. I also want you to understand that this change concerns more than money or visible needs. True provision begins within. When you no longer live with the constant feeling that you are about to lack something, lose something, or be left behind. I am healing the way you look toward tomorrow so that you will no longer predict your future according to the painful things that happened in the past. For too long, you believed that every joy would soon be taken away and that every moment of peace would inevitably be followed by another crisis. Living in constant expectation of disaster exhausted you before each new day had even begun. Now I am replacing that tension with mature trust, not with blind optimism, but with a peace that knows that whatever happens, you will still be guided and will not have to face it alone. When your inner foundation is restored, you will recognize that abundance is not merely having more. It is also knowing what is truly necessary, wisely preserving what has been entrusted to you, and refusing to hand over your peace to numbers that continually change. Do not believe that the difficult years were wasted. Every season of struggle formed within you a depth that comfort alone could never have created. You learned to value small things, to recognize the worth of faithfulness, and to understand that a person can remain kind even while experiencing lack. These qualities will become your foundation when you enter a more spacious place. Because what I desire to entrust to you is not meant to make you proud, but to make you a wise steward of grace. I am not bringing you out of scarcity so that you may turn around and despise those who are still struggling. I am raising you so that your hands will be steady enough to lift others, so that your voice can sow hope, and so that your journey may become evidence that dark seasons do not have the authority to determine the ending. The expansion coming to you will always carry responsibility, but that responsibility will no longer be a crushing yoke. It will become a privilege entrusted to a heart that has learned humility. Therefore, stop calling yourself by the name of scarcity. Do not continue to regard yourself as someone who is always behind, less fortunate, or permanently trapped at the back. The old story is losing its authority, but you must also stop repeating it through your daily thoughts and words. Begin to see yourself as someone being led into a new order where wisdom replaces confusion. Discipline replaces disorder, and trust replaces persistent fear. You do not need to pretend that every problem has disappeared, but you can choose not to allow those problems to define you. I am rebuilding the places worn down by pressure, restoring the courage that has grown weak, and giving you the ability to move slowly but steadily. Great changes often begin with quiet decisions, resting at the proper time, rearranging your priorities, ceasing to pour your energy into relationships that exhaust you, and learning to say no to whatever draws you away from peace. Remember that you are not entering the new season in haste. What belongs to you will not require you to exchange your dignity in order to obtain it, nor will it force you to violate sacred values in order to keep it. I will guide you through clarity, not confusion, and through peace, not through the fear of missing out. You may not yet see the entire road, but you will receive enough light for every step you need to take. As you keep your heart upright, remain diligent with what you already possess, and stay sensitive to guidance. The pieces will gradually fall into their proper places. I am moving you out of a contracted way of living so that you may learn to receive, out of constant struggle so that you may learn to build, and out of the obsession with controlling every outcome so that you may learn to cooperate with wisdom from above. My beloved child, scarcity will no longer be the final mark upon your life. I am writing a new chapter in which you will be abundantly nourished so that you may grow, supported so that you may stand firm, and entrusted with more, not merely to keep for yourself, but to become a source of peace, encouragement, and blessing to those I place along your path. You are entering an elevation prepared by heaven, and this is why everything around you seems unable to retain its former shape. I want you to understand that this change did not begin in your outward circumstances. It began quietly within your deepest places long ago. The way you see people, life, and your own journey is becoming different. Things that once satisfied you no longer have the power to hold you. Conversations that once felt familiar may now seem empty. Places where you once believed you belonged may suddenly feel too narrow. Do not be troubled by this feeling, for it is not a sign that you are losing yourself. On the contrary, you are being led away from a version of yourself that has completed its purpose so that you may mature into someone spacious, steadfast, and wise enough for what is waiting ahead. The expansion you are experiencing will not always feel comfortable. There are days when your heart is filled with a powerful urging, yet you do not know where to go. There are nights when you clearly sense that an old season has ended, but the new door has not yet been fully revealed. It is often this silence between two seasons that causes you to doubt, grow weary, and desire to return to what is familiar. But, my beloved, yesterday's garment cannot continue to cover the stature you are being given. Old habits cannot support new responsibilities, and the limitations you once accepted cannot accompany you into a broader land. I am helping you grow inwardly before outward things are placed into your hands, because a great blessing without maturity can easily become a burden, while advancement without a foundation can cause you to stagger beneath the very thing you once prayed to receive. Therefore, when the calling from above reaches your life, disruption often appears first. I know you once believed that everything coming from the light must always feel gentle and pleasant. Yet there are times when love must awaken what has slept for too long. A room that is to receive the dawn must have its windows opened. A field that is to receive seed must first be turned over. A path that leads to higher ground must depart from the old trail. The disturbances taking place are not meant to wound you, nor are they evidence that you have been forgotten. They are revealing what has expired, which connections are no longer suitable, which thoughts are holding you beneath your true worth, and which fears have quietly governed your decisions. I am stirring what is familiar not to take away your peace, but so that you will stop calling a cage a safe place merely because you have lived inside it for a long time. At times, you may feel as though the ground beneath your feet is shifting, as though former supports are moving away, and as though what once seemed certain has become unclear. But listen to me, you are not being pushed into emptiness. You are being placed upon a foundation capable of carrying the weight of your future. Some sources of support helped you survive, but they cannot help you mature. Some people walked with you through one portion of the journey, but they cannot enter the place you are approaching. Some ways of thinking once protected you from disappointment, but now they prevent you from believing in something good. Therefore, the departure, ending, or change you are witnessing is not necessarily a loss. Often, it is the hand of heaven gently releasing you from anchors that have held you back so that you may move forward without dragging invisible burdens behind you. I know this process can sometimes be painful because you are not only leaving old circumstances, you must also say farewell to ways of thinking that have accompanied you for many years. You are being released from the belief that you must always please everyone in order to deserve love. You are being freed from the fear that one failure will determine the course of your entire life. You are learning not to diminish your voice merely to make others comfortable. And you are no longer blaming yourself for matters beyond your control. There are layers of defense you once built to survive pain, but they have now become walls that prevent the light from entering. I do not condemn you for creating them. I know you were only trying to protect your heart. Yet what helped you survive a season of storms does not have to become the place where you remain forever. At the very moment when you believe many things are being taken from you, heaven is actually creating space for what is good to enter. A hand tightly gripping the past will struggle to receive a new gift. A house filled with things that are no longer needed will have no room for what is precious. Therefore, I am teaching you to release without bitterness, to close a chapter without resentment, and to walk away without losing your kindness. Not everything that leaves you has been stolen. Some things are removed because they cannot serve a greater purpose. Not every closed door is a rejection. Some doors close so that you will no longer waste your strength in a place that only diminishes you. When you look back, you will understand that this arrangement was not working against you. It was quietly working on your behalf. Because this transformation has reached so deeply within you, you are becoming more sensitive to things you once overlooked. You may awaken with a clear understanding without knowing where it came from. A new idea may suddenly appear and remain within you like a seed asking to be nurtured. At times, you may see a solution to a problem that confused you for many months. A very ordinary sentence may cause you to recognize a profound lesson. Do not quickly dismiss such moments as coincidences. When your mind is cleansed of noise, you begin to hear the subtle guidance that was always present. When you stop chasing the approval of others, the wisdom within you begins to speak. When you no longer allow fear to occupy all the space, creativity and courage finally have room to grow. However, I remind you not to treat every passing emotion as a command that requires immediate action. Sensitivity must be accompanied by calmness. and inspiration must stand beside wisdom. What comes from the light will not pressure you through confusion, force you to destroy your peace in order to prove your faith, or nourish pride within your heart. It will lead you toward integrity, compassion, discipline, and responsibility. Therefore, when an idea appears, hold it quietly for long enough to recognize its true nature. When a door opens, do not ask only whether it is attractive. Ask whether it agrees with the person you are becoming. True advancement does not merely raise you higher, it also makes you more humble, more compassionate, and more willing to use what you receive to lift others. Do not be afraid when you sense that you are changing. You do not need to apologize for growing, nor must you return to a smaller version of yourself in order to preserve relationships that exist only when you remain silent. Those who truly cherish you will not ask you to surrender your light so that they may remain comfortable in their own darkness. Remain gentle, but do not lose your boundaries. Be grateful for those who once walked with you, but do not allow gratitude to become a cord that binds you to a place where your season has ended. Some people may not understand your new decisions because they know you only through the image of who you once were. You do not need to argue in order to prove that you have changed. Allow your peace, your consistency, and the good fruit in your life to speak more powerfully than lengthy explanations. I am teaching you to enter the new stage with steadiness rather than haste. What is great does not require you to run in panic in order to catch it. What is truly meant for you will never demand that you betray pure values in order to possess it. Continue to tend your inner life. Keep your heart clear. Faithfully carry out the small responsibilities before you, and remain true to what has already been entrusted to you. Today's quiet preparation will become tomorrow's visible strength. Each time you choose calmness instead of reacting, discipline instead of delay, and truth instead of appearances, you are laying another part of the foundation for your future. Therefore, my beloved child, do not call this season of transition a collapse. It is a loving rearrangement. Do not regard your present sense of unfamiliarity as evidence that you have taken the wrong road. Sometimes it is simply proof that you no longer belong where you once were. You are being expanded so that you can receive more, cleansed so that you can carry what is more precious, and trained so that you will not lose yourself when you enter a place of elevation. I am near you in every unclear moment, in every instance when you must release what is familiar, and in every step you take with trembling feet. Move forward with peaceful trust. What is changing has not come to overwhelm you, but to bring you into the position prepared for you. A new chapter has already begun within you, and before long, what you quietly sense today will appear as unmistakable renewal throughout